Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account. The link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available. The link for that too is in the description box below. So, in this video, I want to talk about manifestation and trauma. This might be a slightly deeper video, and in this video I won't be covering any surface level topics. Because I do that, I cover a lot of topics that are major and main topics that people go through and issues that people go through. But I also want to introduce slightly deeper content on my channel because a lot of you have been in this manifestation journey for years and still have not seen sustainable results and still struggle with maintaining your manifestations and still struggle with happiness on a consistent basis. So my goal here is to help you get that happiness on a consistent basis, because the goal of manifestation is not just to get something in your life. The goal of manifestation is for you to get it and for you to be able to sustain it in your life. That has always been my motto. That has always been my goal, to teach you guys how to maintain manifestations. Not to get them, but to maintain them. Because honestly, the most people that I have are people who have gotten something and lost, not people that haven't received something. Although there is a very huge number of people who are in that situation, and that's also a trouble which will be covered in this video. But there are also a lot of people who get results, who see movement, who see things change, but aren't able to actually sustain it. So here I will be talking about two major topics. One would be relationships, the other would be wealth. And I want to cover these topics in a slightly more deeper manner, and let's get into it. One thing that is very important before I start is for you to understand that this video is a general video, which means in this video I can only cover some topics based on the kind of bandwidth that I have on a YouTube channel. So if you need your personal situation assessed, you can reach out to me on my Instagram account and we can book a session, or you can email me on my email. It's linked down below, so that we can consult in a private way, because here it's only possible for me to cover things in a general perspective, and there is a reason for that. The reason is that because something like trauma is very personal to every person, you cannot just advise someone based on a YouTube video in a very detailed manner. Because let's say I advise you something which is not good for you, because there is something else that is going on that I haven't understood yet, because I haven't known you fully, that might harm you instead of helping you. And I don't want to harm you in any way. I want to help you and your cause. So let's get into it. First, let's understand how trauma is formed. In any way, shape or form, when we talk about trauma is formed through our earlier years, when we are going through patterns and when we understand things, and when there is something that happens to us which we cannot let go of, or a particular emotion that we haven't actually resolved. Now, I'm not going to be talking about trauma in a very scientific and a very deep level. I won't use very big terms, because I don't want to confuse you guys. I want to use terms and I want to explain trauma to you in a way which is very understandable for anyone who doesn't actually have deeper knowledge about these topics like I do in some situations. So it's very important for you to understand it in a simpler language. So I'll be using as simple language as I can, and I'm just scratching the surface here because this is a deep topic and I'm going to be making several videos on this. So look at it from a very starting point. Think about this as the introduction to trauma. Okay, so let's first talk about relationship trauma. Relationship trauma is basically formed in our earlier years, either through the relationship that we have with our parents, our family, our caregivers, or the relationship that we see them having, our parents having, or a relationship that we see someone in my family having, or the way that I'm treated with my family members or by my siblings or someone in my school, or maybe my coach, anything. When I say coach, I mean maybe I'm an athlete and my coach treated me a certain way, or I went through a traumatic experience when I was younger and that has still stuck to me. The major issue that people go through in relationship traumas are traumas where their definition of love gets flawed at a very early age of their life, and that is reinforced through the relationships that they go through in their life as they grow up. So for example, let's say when I'm younger, my parents don't give me enough attention and they give that attention to my sister or my brother. What happens is that as a child, we are not smart enough to understand that maybe my parents are not treating me right. As a child, our mind works in an opposite way. Our mind actually takes everything personally and starts to question ourselves. So, our mind in this particular situation, just taking this example, would say something like that, hey, my parents don't treat me right. Maybe there is something wrong with me. That is why that happens to me. And that can start a belief that I am not good enough or I am lesser in the starting of your life, which will be carried on in every relationship, every friendship, and through life that you go through, which will be very reflective through your actions. And a child who has this kind of an issue might, because every child wants warmth, so that child might act out in different ways to get the attention from their parents. So they might actually do be super hard on themselves. They might try to work super hard so that they can actually make their parents proud and they can give them warmth. Or that child might try to act out, which means they might try to do something that their parents don't like. It's not something that would make them happy. They would still give that child attention. And that attention might be something that that child likes, because even if it is unwanted warmth, like even if it is warmth and attention in a manner which is not happy, but it's still warmth. And if someone is not getting warmth in the first place, they would love getting warmth in any area, in any way, shape, or form. How this can be transformed and how this can be replicated in relationships can be that, let's say I'm someone who has this kind of a mindset. In manifestation, how I would do is that every time a person will reject me a little bit, I will take that as a sign to chase them more. Every time my specific person will push away from me a little bit or will want a little bit of space, I will think that they are not interested in me. And in that moment, I will either try something extra, which means chase them to get their attention, or I will sabotage the relationship in some way, because then they will notice me. So for me, it would be very, very difficult to be still and for someone else to take their time, because I would feel that if someone else is taking their time, that means that they are ignoring me, and that means that they are not going to come back with an answer. That is something that can hinder your manifestation growth, because what happens for someone like this is that when they get in relationships and when they are manifesting and they don't see movement for a while, they start to retaliate in a manner or in where either they start to act out, which means they start to sabotage their manifestations, or if someone like that receives movement, what happens is that they in some way, shape, or form sabotage their movement, because when they get it, they have that growth, but they try to make it more through their manipulative actions. And I'm not trying to blame you, because I have someone who has been there for my own reasons, which I cannot discuss in this video, but because that will get very lengthy. But I have been there and I have faced these issues before. So I understand where you are coming from. But this results in power struggles in relationships. This results in a dynamic in relationships where one person is always the one chasing and the other is always the one running away, which is not something that we want. So a very good way to actually get out of that would be to first deal with your traumas so that your relationships moving forward can be healthier. Similarly, it can also be in wealth. So let's say, and I will just give you one example here. Let's say I'm someone whose father was a businessman, right? And they did business and they had a business which was very successful, but suddenly something happened where my father took some wrong choices and that business turned down, and I lost all the money and I lost everything that I owned, and I had to settle for a mediocre life. I saw children making fun of me. I saw my friends laughing at me. I had to leave the house that I live in. I had to sell my cars and everything. A child, when they have established that kind of dynamic with wealth, they have developed a trauma with wealth where they have started to connect wealth to something one that can suddenly go away. They have also started to connect wealth with dread. They have also started to connect wealth and a business specifically with a tendency that can help them, with a tendency which that it can go away. And another thing that happens is that it puts this thing in my mind that being a business owner is not safe. Someone like that, when they are going to grow in life and they are trying to manifest more money, will always have difficulty getting more of it. The major reason being because, let's say, they are trying to get more money in their life. In their mind, they have connected having more money with something that gives them a possibility to lose more very suddenly. So because they don't want to lose more, and because they don't actually feel safe with the idea of having a lot of money or safe with the idea of having a business, they would somewhere sabotage it. So that can result in them procrastinating, that can result in them getting lazy, that can result in them not doing things that they know they should be doing. And you will feel like, I'm procrastinating and getting lazy. It actually won't be that. It will be that your body will be consistently in survival mode when it comes to that topic. And because your body wants to protect you, it will put you in a position where you won't be able to proceed forward. So this is going to be the introduction to trauma. Things like these are very important to actually deal with when it comes to your manifestations, because we also want to sustain them, and because we also want them to come in our life where we can enjoy them, not for them to come in our life where we aren't able to be happy with them. So I will be making more content on it, and I would want you guys, if you have any questions in relation to this, you can comment down below. Or every week, either on a Saturday or on a Thursday, I do a Q&A on my Instagram page, so you can follow there, and you can turn the notifications on. When the questions the Q&A box is put, you can put on some questions there. If there are some things that I can answer, I definitely will. But if you feel like you need personalized answers and a personalized look at your situation, you can book a coaching session so that I can go in detail and I can answer it for you. So I will see you guys in the next video, and hope you have a good one. Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions, and I will see you guys in the next one.